Welcome to our session on conflict management. In this short video, we'll explore vital techniques and models designed to navigate and de-escalate conflicts, especially in the luxury retail environment, where we, as Secur-IT officers, strive to maintain safety and professionalism. Let's start with understanding what conflict is. It's essentially a serious disagreement or argument, which, if not managed properly, can unfortunately escalate into violence. Remember, as security officers, your safety and the safety of others are paramount. It's crucial not to escalate situations or put anyone at risk. We always face some level of risk when interacting with the public, but through professionalism and common sense, we can significantly reduce this risk. Most injuries to retail security officers occur during detentions, confrontations at the EAS, or when a detained individual attempts to flee. Our goal is to keep everyone safe, which brings us to the concept of dynamic risk assessments.
Dynamic risk assessment is our ongoing detailed examination of the work environment and potential hazards, allowing us to make informed decisions on taking precautions or implementing further safety measures. It's about being vigilant and ready to respond appropriately to threats, adapting our approach as situations evolve.
Now, let's talk about some models that can guide us in assessing risks in conflict situations. In a retail environment, the TACT model offers a structured approach to managing conflicts that can arise from various situations, such as customer disputes, theft, or even internal staff conflicts. By following the TACT model, security officers can ensure they're responding to these challenges thoughtfully and effectively, prioritizing the safety and well-being of all involved. Practical application of the TACT model involves quick thinking, clear communication, and a calm demeanor, qualities that are essential for diffusing tensions and preventing conflicts from escalating in public settings. Think safety first. The primary focus is on ensuring the safety of everyone involved, including the security officer, other staff members, customers, and even the individual causing the disturbance. Safety is the paramount concern above all else. In a retail setting, thinking safety first means identifying potential hazards or threats quickly. For example, ensuring that the conflict does not block emergency exits, that other customers are moved away from the area of conflict, and that any physical altercation is avoided if at all possible. Assess the situation. This step involves quickly and accurately understanding the context and specifics of the conflict. It's about gathering information to comprehend the severity, the parties involved, and any underlying issues that may be fueling the disagreement. In a retail environment, assessing the situation might involve observing the body language and verbal cues of the individuals involved, determining if the conflict is escalating, and identifying what triggered the conflict. It also means being aware of your surroundings, including the presence of potential weapons or obstacles. Consider your options. Once the situation is assessed, the next step is to think through the possible ways to address the conflict. This involves weighing the pros and cons of each option to find the most effective and least disruptive solution. Considering your options could range from engaging in a calm conversation to de-escalate the situation, calling for backup from other security staff or store management, or, in more severe cases, contacting local law enforcement. It could also involve deciding whether or not to physically intervene if there is an immediate threat to someone's safety, and take action. Based on the assessment and the options considered, this final step involves implementing the chosen course of action. This action should be decisive and aimed at resolving the conflict as safely and efficiently as possible. Taking action might mean approaching the individual involved in a non-threatening manner and initiating dialogue aimed at de-escalation. It could also mean escorting a disruptive individual out of the store, if safe to do so, or administering first aid if injuries have occurred. The key is to act confidently and with authority, but without escalating the situation further.
Using the SEW model in a store helps security teams quickly figure out what's happening in a disagreement and choose the best way to handle it. This approach makes sure they look at the whole picture, not just the immediate problem, but everything around that could affect what happens next. For instance, if there's an argument about returning an item, things could get worse if the security doesn't consider how upset the people involved are, how packed the store is, and if there are any items nearby that could be used as weapons. Subjects involved. This aspect focuses on the individuals directly involved in the conflict, including their behavior, intentions, and capabilities. Understanding the subjects is crucial for assessing the threat level and deciding on the appropriate response. A practical application in a retail setting would be identifying the subjects involved means observing their actions, body language, and verbal communication. Are they customers, employees, or external individuals? Is their behavior aggressive, distressed, or threatening? Recognizing these factors helps tailor the approach, whether it's de-escalation tactics, offering assistance, or preparing for a defensive response. Environment or setting of the conflict. The environment refers to the physical location and context of the conflict. Factors such as the layout of the space, the presence of bystanders, and the current activity level can significantly affect how the situation should be managed. In a retail store, the environment might include narrow aisles, crowded spaces, or areas with high-value items. Security personnel need to consider these elements when deciding how to intervene. For example, ensuring the safety of bystanders by moving the conflict away from crowded areas, using the store layout to prevent the situation from escalating, and identifying exit routes. Weapons or potential weapons. This component involves identifying any objects that could be used as weapons during the conflict. Recognizing potential weapons is vital for assessing the risk and implementing measures to reduce harm. Potential weapons could range from items being sold, such as kitchen knives or tools, to everyday objects that could be repurposed to cause harm, like glass bottles or heavy merchandise. Security officers should be vigilant in identifying these potential threats and strategize on how to neutralize the risk, possibly by guiding the conflict away from areas where such items are accessible or by taking preventative measures to secure them.
The SAFER model is a simple way to handle disagreements or tense situations, especially in places like stores. Let's break it down so it's easy to understand and use. Step back. Do you need to physically step in? Pause and think before you act. Often, you can solve problems by talking rather than touching. For example, if two customers are arguing loudly, try to calm them with words first. Assess the threat. What is the danger? Look carefully at what is happening. Who is involved? Is anyone picking up something that could hurt someone? If customers get more upset, or if there's a crowd, see if someone might use an object as a weapon. Find help. Ask for assistance. If it's hard to manage alone, call for help. This could be other staff, security, or police. Think about keeping everyone safe. Use a walkie-talkie or phone to get backup. Keep other customers safe by moving them away. Evaluate your options. How can you solve the problem? Think of ways to fix the issue. This could be talking, finding a middle ground, or walking away if needed. For example, offer a solution that makes both customers happy, like having the store staff check for more stock. If too heated, find a peaceful way to stop the interaction. Respond. Act in a calm and fair way. Choose the action that calms the situation without causing more trouble. Make sure you can explain why it was the right thing to do. You could take the customers to a quieter place to talk. Choose the action that smooths things over and keeps everyone happy. In summary, the SAFER model is about thinking first, understanding the problem, getting help, finding the best solution, and then acting to keep everything calm and safe. Signs of aggression to watch for include threatening gestures, clenching fists, changes in speech, restlessness, and invading personal space, among others. Recognizing these signs early can help prevent escalation. In signaling non-aggression, your posture, breathing, calm demeanor, and careful listening play critical roles. Maintaining an appropriate distance and using open hand language can help de-escalate a conflict.
Filming or taking photos in public places isn't illegal. However, if someone films on private property, like in a store or shopping center, and the owner or manager doesn't want them to, it becomes a different story. In such cases, you can tell the person filming that if they don't stop, they're considered to be trespassing. If they refuse to leave after being asked, it then becomes criminal trespass, and they may be removed by security staff or the police. It's important to remember that videos of security staff might not always tell the whole story. They can be misleading and show events out of context, often not highlighting any provocations or the complexities of the situation. Therefore, staying polite and professional while being filmed is crucial. Use calm body language and give clear, lawful instructions. In some cases, it could be better to just ignore the fact they are filming and continue to respond as normal and allow them to film. It's also good practice to acknowledge the filming, By saying something like, "I can see you are recording this incident, that's fine, just so you are aware. This whole incident has been recorded from the start on the store CCTV as well." You can also point out the use of your body camera if you have one. People might film as a way to intimidate you, hoping it makes you hesitant to act. However, as long as you stick to the rules and follow legal guidelines, you'll be alright. Make sure to also utilize the store's CCTV and, if available, your body camera to have your own record of events. Never try to grab the phone or camera from someone filming or physically stop them from recording. If they refuse to leave after being asked, clearly inform them that they are trespassing. If they still don't leave, it's considered criminal trespass. At this point, calling for police assistance or getting help from other security is the best course of action to safely handle the situation.
Before we proceed to concluding our session, let's discuss how to manage different behaviors and the appropriate responses, including when the use of force may be necessary if the individual is compliant. They offer no resistance. You should maintain a presence, observing and making passive control of the situation. Verbal resistance: make tactical communication, both verbal and non-verbal, to not be threatening, but present a strong commanding presence. Passive resistance: refusing to move or leave the store. Here you use your primary control skills, such as a low-level use of force, like a touch to the shoulder or leading by the elbow. Active resistance, such as ushing, pulling, struggling, fighting. Now you can look to escalate to secondary control skills, increasing the use of force, to defensive strikes and compliance holds, to physically detain an offender or remove a person from your sight. When it comes to diffusing conflict, it's all about calming the situation and regaining rapport. Keep your voice steady, make eye contact without staring, and listen actively. Use open questions to encourage dialogue, helping to reduce tension and gather valuable information. Avoid arguing and adopt body language that's open and receptive. Once the situation is calmer, work on regaining rapport. Summarize to show understanding, empathize without patronizing, and clarify any actions needed. Encourage a relaxed atmosphere to solve the problem efficiently, tackling simpler issues first before addressing more complex ones. Remember, the primary goal is always to ensure safety for everyone involved. Never corner someone, always have a backup plan, and never pursue or try to detain someone who becomes violent or is armed. Your safety and the safety of others is our top priority. By applying these techniques and models, you'll be better equipped to manage conflicts effectively, ensuring a safer environment for everyone. Thank you for your commitment to professionalism and safety. Let's stay safe, stay sharp. Thank you.